In this original Hyperattack, it was roughly 100, maybe a little bit more than 100 simultaneous attacks. And each one of those attacks contained dozens and dozens of agents. So we're talking somewhere on the order of a few thousand agents running near simultaneously against our client's perimeter. The agents discovered in an unauthenticated manner 12 endpoints, which were each individually vulnerable to remote code execution from the broader internet. Now, when we say remote code execution in an unauthenticated context, usually that's enough to cause people to stop and take a step back and say, hey, that's bad, we need to fix this. And arguably it is bad. But what was interesting is the way that this kill chain unfolded from the agents themselves. Because it didn't just stop with the unauthenticated discovery of 12 endpoints that were vulnerable to this RCE. What really transpired was the identification of these endpoints being vulnerable to server-side request forgery that the agents then parlayed into using a known published CVE from 2025, if I remember correctly. And in the combination of that SSRF and that CVE allowed the agents to get that unauthenticated RCE. But when that unauthenticated RCE actually fired, it actually executed in the context of a what turned out to be an overly permissive Kubernetes service. So we have this RCE, the agents identify these 12 endpoints and get basically code execution in an overly permissioned context within Kubernetes. And the agents then leverage that access, that overly permissive access, to identify and exfiltrate credentials for third-party services, effectively escaping the Kubernetes pod. And so the agents then used that identification of the credentials, exfiltrated them out to a owned server. And from there, the agents were able to authenticate to the client's cloud service directly, effectively compromising their cloud infrastructure in its entirety. And so this kill chain, even though it seems relatively simple, right? I mean, we're really only talking about maybe 3 or 4 steps, but this is the original Hyperattack, Greg. This is roughly about 100 different attacks with thousands of agents running simultaneously, finding these 12 different unauthenticated RCEs, ultimately resulting in cloud infrastructure compromise.